Some songs about the Oregon Trail. In fact, there was this one pioneer that wanted to go along the Oregon Trail, and he didn't know a whole lot about horses, a whole lot about wagons or anything, but he approached the wagon master of this one wagon train and asked if he could come along. And the wagon master said, sure. He says, but we're going to give you a job to do. I want you to sit on the back of that last wagon, and I'm going to check with you from time to time, see how things are going. So after a few weeks of going along the Oregon Trail, the wagon master came back one day and asked the young man how things were going. He says, well, you know, I'm not a very good judge of distance. He says, but I believe there may be an Indian fella following us. And when I held out my hand, it looked like he was about this big. And the wagon master says, well, that gives me a pretty good idea how far he is back there. He says, I'll check with you again in a few days. So a few days later, the wagon master comes back again, and the young man says, well, you know, I'm not a very good judge of distance, but I'm pretty sure it's an Indian fella. He seems to be riding a pony. And when I held up my hand this time, it looked like he was about this big. And the wagon master says, well, he's definitely getting closer. He says, I'm going to check with you again tomorrow. So the next day the wagon master comes back. The young man says, well, it's definitely an Indian fella. He's riding a pony and he's got some paint on his face. And when I held up my hand this time, it looked like he was about this big. And the wagon master says, well, son, he says, he's definitely getting close. He says, a little too close for comfort. I'm gonna leave a rifle back here because, you know, you might have to shoot him. Shoot him? Shoot him? Why, I've known him since he was this big.